You're listening to the Reds Podcast.
This is episode number 9, and we'll be talking about 99Designs, the crowdsourced graphic design company. You've heard a lot of good things about it, but a lot of people have been burnt. Laurel and I have both done several projects on this service, and we're going to tell you how to get the best work possible for the least amount of money. That's coming up on this episode of the Red Podcast.
This is the Red Podcast. Real entrepreneur development. Make more money, work less, and live a life of freedom. No BS advice that really works. Here's your hosts, David Hooper and Laurel Staples.
So, Laurel, I do a lot of graphic design. Well, I don't do it. I hire it out.
Good point.
for the work that I do. You know, I work with people, and we do a lot of books. Audiobooks, certainly my music business background, I've done my share of record albums in the day.
You've hired out a lot of people.
A lot of people for a lot of years. And I was thinking about how things have changed. You and I are doing a project right now where we're using 99Designs, which is a crowdsourced graphic design service. And it used to be, you know, here's how it used to work. You used to go to a graphic designer, and it would be the best guy. You'd like his portfolio. And you'd tell him what you wanted, and he'd send back 2 or 3 concepts maybe. And then you'd just go from there. And I was thinking back to a project I did. I was working on a book. It was actually a book that I did. And I told this guy, it's kind of a, I guess it was kind of a new age book, kind of a mindset book. New age for some people, right? And this dude sent me back a concept. This is how, I guess, trying sometimes the process of working with a graphic designer can be. One of the concepts, it literally looked like a gay pride parade had exploded.
Wow.
Rainbows everywhere.
Who wouldn't want to buy that?
Well, that wasn't the market that I was going for, right?
Too bad.
But I think the only thing that would have made it more, it's like it wouldn't have even been possible, really, to put another rainbow in there, except maybe like if a unicorn had farted or something.
Wow.
That would be the only thing I think that you could have made it like
Nobody
more
wants
rainbow.
that. Only you would come up with that analogy.
Yeah, because we had like every other rendition of a rainbow that was possible.
All right, so rainbow covers.
So anyway, that was kind of the experience for a long time of getting graphic work done. You just found the best guy that you could, and even as good as he or she was, that was kind of it. You're still limited by one guy's idea.
Please say you didn't go with the rainbow cover.
No, I had 2 other designs to pick from. But with 99Designs, as you know, I think our new project now has something like 545 designs.
Oh, yeah, we got a lot of designs.
A lot of designs.
And if you don't know what 99Designs is, I'd love to explain it, David, for the people that aren't familiar.
Yeah, explain it.
Well, 99Designs, as you said, it's a crowdsourcing graphic design website. And I love 99Designs. I think it's fantastic because you do get all those designs from different people around the world. And I just want to sum it up in a nutshell for people that haven't used it before, but you submit your brief or your proposal that says what you want. Do you want a logo? Do you want a t-shirt? Do you want an iTunes podcast graphic? What do you want? And then people submit to your contest. And then in the end, you select the finalist, and then you narrow it down to one person, and you get the exact logo that you want. But
it's not just one guy. It's not just one guy like the example I gave. It can literally be dozens of people, and some of those dozens of people will submit dozens of proposals.
Mm-hmm. So as you said, we ended up with over 500 for our logo design.
Yeah. And we've used it several times. You know, I actually used 99Designs before it was called 99Designs, and that was 5 or 7 years ago, maybe. Mm-hmm. It's come a long way since then. They made it really easy to pay people. There's a lot more people on there. So it's been an incredible experience. I almost never went back. The first time I did it, I had a guy from United Arab Emirates who I really liked working with, but I had to send him money. He didn't take PayPal because PayPal isn't available in that country, and we can't do postal money orders to that country because I guess United States doesn't like that country or something.
How'd you end up paying him?
Some kind of issue. Yeah, I don't remember because he couldn't take a check. It was anyway. It was a big pain, and they've made it so easy these days. So it's opened up all these countries that we either can't send money to, or it probably was Western Union. It was either that, or I sent him maybe cash through DHL. Sometimes they'll do that.
I hope you got a really good design for going to all that trouble. Like something that didn't have any rainbows on it at all.
No, but you know, I've worked with 99Designs for a long time, and we've done several designs since then. It's gotten better and better each time, and the pool of talented graphic designers that they have has been amazing. So,
but I want to point
let's talk about how to get the best people, because I know a lot of people. You know, we said we got 540 something designs for this last one. A lot of people. You know, 99Designs only guarantees at the lowest end. They said, yeah, you know, you get about 30 designs, and we're getting almost 20 times that many.
But I want to point out too that even though 99Designs, it's been really great for what I've done. It's just worked for us to get the red logo really well. But I would say most people go on there and they don't know how to use it correctly.
Yeah.
And if you don't know how to use it correctly, if you don't know what to do when you get on there, they take you through the steps. But if you don't quite know how to interact with the interface, then you're going to end up with a crappy design. And that's not what you want to do when you're having tons of people submit to your contest. So I think today it would be great to kind of go through, you know, what's going to help you get the most bang for your buck on 99Designs. And not just that, but get a great logo or a great graphic that really represents what you're doing and your company or whatever you're going for, because design and branding is huge when you're trying to build a business and when you're trying to gain followers and really do what you're trying to do.
Yeah, you want to get that taken care of. And they have a procedure manual you can follow, but we're going to show you how it works in the real world. So we've got a list of things that we talked about earlier, and we're going to go through them now. The first thing you've got to do is you've got to get really clear on what it is that you want. And you mentioned it, Laurel, it's called a brief. And the brief is where you explain literally everything. And how I do it is I explain the type of font that I want. I explain the colors that I want, the colors that I don't want. They have a list of varying marks that you can get for logos, for example. They've got a pictorial mark, which is maybe is it a picture or is it a logo or an icon? I guess that's the best way to describe it. Yeah. Do you want an icon? Do you want a word mark, which is what we used for the Red podcast? Do you want something that combines the two? Do you want it to have a character? Do you want an animation? Do you want it to look like a Web 2.0 logo? You have various selections. An
emblem kind of thing, like a shield almost kind of thing.
Yeah, like a Chrysler-looking emblem.
Yeah.
It looks like it should go on the front of a car, like a Mercedes.
Yeah, that's kind of what I think.
Do you want that, or do you want old school signage from like the 50s? They give you varying options, but instead of going through and selecting every single one of those, say, oh, well, I'll just see what pops up. Get real specific. I would suggest picking the one that you want and going deep with that. Knowing what you want ahead of time. They're going to ask you, do you want this to be a more feminine-looking graphic, or do you want it to be more masculine? And if you don't tell people, or if you just put something right in the middle, you'll get everything from cursive-looking font that looks like it should be on a romance novel to something that's like really, really manly. Like
what's really, really manly? Not like the opposite of unicorns.
Yeah, not unicorns, but really manly would be like something like a ninja blade and maybe like a bloody knife.
Oh, there it is.
Like a ultimate fighting championship type of thing. So that's all.
We didn't get any of those in our.
No, we didn't get any of those, and that's because we didn't want those. So get real specific in the brief.
And I want to point out
too,
David, in addition to that, like we did a lot of research before we even went to 99Designs. Is we looked at other logos, we looked at other businesses, we looked at.
And you need to give examples of those logos. We gave examples of logos that we had picked from 99Designs in the past and logos that we had used in the past. Here's what we liked. Here's what our style is. And you let people know what you like. Here's what never to do. Mm-hmm. You can sometimes give a logo and tell people not to do that. But if you're going to do that, be real specific and put that on the logo. Don't do this. Mm-hmm. Put a big X on it.
So figure out what you want. I mean, you have to figure out what you want if you're going to communicate what you want, because they're going to take whatever you say pretty literally. and they're going to try to do the design to spec. So you have to get clear, and you have to write that clear brief about what you want.
Right, because understand that a lot of these guys are not from the United States. This is just going to assume that you're listening to this from the United States, but it's a worldwide market. You're probably dealing with guys from 50 different countries. English may not be their first language, so it's not like working with a guy down the street. You've got to get real clear and use very, I would say, basic English. Don't try to use the thesaurus, try to sound like you're all smart and use flowery language. And, I come from a background of working with musicians, and they'll try to get all kind of airy-fairy on their descriptions. Like, I want it to be like a beautiful blossoming flower and let it expand. And it's like, what the hell are you talking about? Be real specific. So I want a box. It needs to be black. Inside the black box, there needs to be something red.
Well, you don't need to be that specific. Like, we weren't that specific because you're not a designer.
No,
but I think
we
you
were
have
very
to get
specific. We said we want black and white. We want a one-color logo, black and white with one spot color. Here's the spot color.
And we want it masculine.
It needs to be very masculine. It needs to be classic looking. We don't want it to go out of date. No Web 2.0 logos. That's how specific that we get.
But you don't have to design it for them. I mean,
no,
you have to
you're not
let
designing
them
it for them. But
do
if you
the
do
work.
have a mock-up, you can give it to them and say, "Here's my little mock-up that I made on a napkin. Work with it." Mm-hmm. If you've got an idea, don't try to get.
Just get as clear as you can.
Get clear. That's
as
what we're saying.
As clear as
here.
you can. You don't have to design it, but you need to get clear, and you need to communicate effectively to these guys or gals what you want.
And let's talk about money. The money for a logo, I'm going to just say this off the top of my head. I'm not real specific. They usually have a bronze, a silver, and a gold option, suggested options. And bronze, I think, for a logo is $2.99. I believe the silver is $4.99. And for $7.99, you can go for the bronze. There's a bunch of add-ons. There's like, hey, we'll tweet it out to people. We'll bold it, just like eBay. We'll highlight it. And you can do those. We just went for the red logo. In the last couple ones I've done, I've gone for just the bronze option, the very lowest end, $2.99. And the reason I've done that is, one, because our brief is so specific that we find we get enough good options that we don't need to spend more money. But also, if you spend too much money, you're going to be flooded with, one time I had over 1,000 submissions.
Wow.
Because I was just going high end. I was used to paying for high end logos, and even $7.99 was a good option for me. It's like, what the hell? I'll just look for the best because I really want all those options. That can be overwhelming. You've got 7 days to do this contest, and literally you've got dozens and dozens of designers, and they're like, please give me feedback. Please give me feedback. It can be something that could take your entire week up.
Yeah, you definitely want to start small, especially if you're new to 99 Designs. There's no reason to go get the platinum package or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, just get the smallest one.
Start small, figure out how to do it, and give good feedback. And you need to get in there, and it's a 1 to 5 star rating system. And I will say this, that every logo needs to be rated. If you don't like it, don't be nice. Don't try to not hurt people's feelings. Say, no, this isn't what I want. These guys are used to that. These guys want to get clear. Say, yes, this is what I like. 1 star means it has potential. 5 stars means you're probably going to use it. And when I first used 99 Designs, I was trying to be real nice because I was thinking, every logo has potential, and it's okay, but if you don't like it, if you know you're not going to use it, just go ahead and eliminate it. And if it's something close, a 1 or 2 star rating will get them to give you more of it. And if you don't want any more of it, you need to let them know, because you're going to get more of that too. And that's worth saying. There's something called a non-disclosure agreement that you can have people sign, or there's what they call a blind contest where people can't look at each other's work. I find it really helpful to have the non-blind contest where everybody can see everything, because what they'll do is they'll kind of riff off of each other. And if you've got something that you like, somebody might have a variation of that that's not copying them completely, but it's using those kind of elements and giving you a similar design that might be even better.
And I want to point out again that you said you got to give feedback on every design. And I don't think we did every design in this case because we had 500 submissions, but You need to give as much feedback as you possibly